was going to happen.
As the kids were getting out the buses, there was a line of police holding back residents from South Boston, screaming at the black students. We were fearful for our lives.
We were not pushing for desegregation because of the Brotherhood of Man concept. Where there were white students, that's where the money went.
How adults in Boston could not have come up with a better plan, it still baffles me.
I'm not for all this. I don't care. My one will not go to school, but it's caramel pie. I wouldn't care if they were green or purple. It's the idea of putting my kid on a bus when I have a school right across the street from where they should go.
White families and even some black families felt that the decision of where their children should go to school should be up to them.
First of all, busing will never work in this city. Never. They will not take the rights away from these people.
Many black parents were saying, this is crazy. No, we can't send our kids into the lion's den.
I don't want to bus my child to any school. I want to have a good school in my community where my child can go and get just as much good education as anybody else.
The battle over busing in Boston exposed an important truth, that the majority of white Americans didn't actually support civil rights if it meant they had to actually address racial inequality in their own cities.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood, the hood view, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas represents. He's sitting on a Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. We live. Welcome to Hoodview Politics, where we go into a deep, detailed dive into politics from a hood point of view. I'm Rabbit Jones.
And I am Tony D, #1 soul brother. And welcome to Hoodview Politics. This is our Tuesday night live stream that doubles as the Tuesday night coon fry. Well, we gonna drop somebody in some grease, some oil that's hotter than fish grease.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. For example, the hot grease you talking about is the grease we need to. First of all, they popping up all over the place, bro. And we're gonna keep knocking. What's that game you call when motherfuckers pop up and then you hit it in and hit their fucking head?
Whack-a-mole.
Whack their ass. Every time they pop their motherfucking dumbass head up. You know what I'm saying?
Hit it like whack-a-mole, baby.
Stephen A, goddamn it.
And we ain't gonna drop him tonight. Tonight we're not gonna drop Stephen A in no ordinary run-of-the-mill
no
vegetable oil.
This
from
grease
Shoppers.
is hot.
We're gonna drop this motherfucker in some Crisco.
This grease been fucking cooking.
This mofo is going into a pot of Crisco.
Ooh-wee. You best believe it. And you know,
because he was dead wrong. But what he said
over the top
to that cracker. To that.
Now, it's a lot we're gonna get into tonight. Violence against women.
Oh yeah, we got to do that,
including black women. You know what I'm saying?
Especially black women, because black women got it harder than anybody.
One thing we're gonna step into, and of course, the Trump trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to get into tonight. And one thing about it, we get deeper than
yeah. Oh, there you go.
Dive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Now, let's get into the trials and tribulations of Trump.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Now, we're going into this. Now, first of all, he been complaining every time he come out the motherfucking joint.
Whining.
And before, you know what I'm saying? Now, we get it. It's 45 degrees in there. We already know.
So
you ain't
what?
telling us nothing we don't know. Okay, shut the fuck up. You know
Wait
what I'm
till
saying?
you get convicted, they put your ass in that holding cell. It's fucking 15 degrees in there.
And the funny thing about this whole thing is, people don't understand it's not about no porn star, bro.
No,
The man falsified business documents, bro.
right.
Period. Now
He
he
lied.
did it. He did it for a porn star. Cool, but he did that, and somebody already got locked up for that. His lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
Now we got Rachel Maddow, right? I know some of y'all MAGAs don't like her. Cool.
You mean none of y'all MAGAs don't like her?
She expressed how she seen him come out the courtroom, and she said he looked old, tired, and agitated.
That's why he sleep all the time.
Now, MAGA blacks.
MAGA blacks.
When
Blacker.
is it time for you to put a plug, my guys? You know what I'm saying? Now, when it's time to put a plug on black MAGAs, when y'all stop and say, what the fuck am I doing? You had oh my God. Let's go into this right now.
Look, yeah,
You had Stephen A. had the audacity
the gumption,
to
the
say
kahunas,
that the black culture
the brass.
sympathize with this redneck turned orange pig. Are y'all fucking serious? A billionaire? Let's break this down. You want to tell me that we sympathize with a pig? Let me tell you why we don't. First of all, we don't have no ways or means to even get a fucking lawyer. First of all,
A lot of times,
niggas like me, I'm putting up most niggas putting their house, their grandmama houses up, not theirs.
Get out.
Grandmamas. You know what I'm saying? This fool is a fucking billionaire.
I don't think he a billion. I think he lied about that.
How about that?
'Cause
I don't care. He got the best lawyers in the world.
Yeah, he got some of them.
And niggas like me and
The
you,
ones that's willing to work for him.
we ain't getting the best lawyers in the world. Guess what we get?
Public
Quarter point.
defenders. You get PDs.
And these motherfuckers are fools that can't lawyer. That's why they're there. They just started. That's why they're there. They old as fuck. It's time to retire. That's why they're there. And they don't give a fuck about your black ass. Now, alternative, a billionaire. The best lawyers money can fucking buy. Delay. You know what I'm saying? Us, we scared as fuck. We just rolling on a roller coaster. Looking at everybody. The lawyer, hey, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
the next thing we
right.
know, it's the sentence. You know what I'm saying? Don't compare it, motherfucker. It's not the same. And my number one soul brother can attest to that.
Something like that. Look at him. This Stephen A. This interview with Stephen A. and Sean Hannity is foul on so many levels. So many levels. That Stephen A. you was dead wrong. For one, going on there. For two, speaking on black people the way you did. Look, I'm really pissed off at Stephen A. because of this shit. This the shit that he went on and co-signed was the abject racist ignorance that they've been pushing for the last let's say since he been running.
No. And for anybody don't know what he talking about is Stephen A. went on Sean Hannity on Fox News, right?
Yeah. Set it up.
Now, for that alone tells me he part of propaganda for
Yeah,
you black people to be misled. They use these type of motherfuckers. So he brings him on in and he elaborates that, you know what? Everything Trump going through, everybody laughed at him when he said black people is sympathetic to it. But he right. This was hey, not me. Trust me. Don't clip this and say it's me, motherfucker. That's that coonery.
Right. Let's see.
Cool fry for sure. This motherfucker said black people sympathize with Trump because the system is treating him wrong. This is what this motherfucker said, right?
Well,
this is what the coonery fool ass Boo-Boo the fool said. That's what he said.
That's what the dummy said. Let's see.
Now, the problem is he know that's not factually right. He know he talking bullshit. He know he on Hannity show who needs him as a black man to go on Biden and the Democrats. Period. That's what they need. They need you to do that. If you do that, perfect. Black man for the Fox News. Motherfucker. And he know this. He been doing this for years. He been coming on there ragging Democrats for years. This is not new. I hope everybody know this is not a new activity for this motherfucker. He just signed a contract for almost $70 million. Do you think he give a fuck about the poor? And who is president and who gives a fuck about the poor? No. So therefore, he can rag and say dumbass shit like, we sympathize with him because he locked the fuck up. What dumbass shit is that, bruh? Me and my nigga here telling you we coming from the fucking streets. We ain't telling you we're intelligent. We ain't telling you smarter than you. But your dumbass is out of college on fucking ESPN and look, you's a fucking brown nose ass nigga to us. But people, that's different. And you gonna look down on niggas like us and tell us dumbass shit like that, bruh. You need to be fucking smacked in your mouth. ASAP. Charles Barkley already went on you. It's like, and Charles Barkley is not the person to speak, but I'm gonna let him do it. He said the right words. You know what I'm saying? But this foolery, it's just nothing but just something for people on Fox and motherfucking Trump to say, hey, this black person, listen to what he said. Democrats are shit, and this whole case against me is all on them. He sat there and said the case against him, Democrats did it. Really? A jury convicted this clown ass orange fool. But your black ass gonna get up there and do the minstrel show and fucking feed black people bullshit. Before we get any further, I'm gonna play his response, but I'm gonna let number one soul brother tap into this right here. You know what I'm saying, now? Before I play his response to everybody jumping on his dumb ass for saying dumb shit.
My thing is this. Fox News been pushing this shit about black people sympathize with Trump because they think, or they want to portray it as he going through what black people been going through as far as persecution by the law enforcement, the courts, and so on and so forth. This is a bunch of bullshit. They want to push the narrative that when he put them ugly ass shoes out, that black people will flock to him and follow him because, as they say, black people like shoes, like tennis shoes, which is a bunch of bullshit too. So now you have Stephen A. ignorant ass. He goes on and basically co-sign this racist bullshit with a racist ass like Sean Hannity. He co-signs the fact, okay, that black and look, everything they pushing in this narrative is geared toward black men. It's geared toward black men. That basically blacks gonna come to him and follow him and sympathize with him and feel for him because of the shit we done went through as far as the law is concerned. far as the law, the police, the court system, and all that shit. That's garbage. I done been through all that. I don't sympathize with motherfucker Donald Trump because I can't relate. Do you think the Central Park Five sympathize with Donald Trump when he tried to get these 5 brothers, basically get them the death penalty? Do black people that been persecuted, Stephen A., you think they sympathize with Trump when he discriminated and didn't want black people living in his apartments? When we know that when black people put in an application, on the top of their application was marked a C. Come on, Stephen A. You go on and co-sign this bullshit. And make it even worse, you have a following. It's the same thing I said about academics last week. You have a following that listen to what you say. Even if they're not into hardcore into politics, a lot of people probably looked at their interview, looked up the interview, watched the interview, just because it's Stephen A. A lot of people that are into sports. Well, Stephen A's on Fox News. I'm gonna tune in and see what he's talking about.
True.
Come on, bro. And then you mislead them.
I mean, that's why they there though.
Yeah, but you sit there and feed into basically a stereotype, because all black men ain't criminals, all black people ain't criminals. And even the ones that have been in trouble. I've been in trouble, been in lots of trouble. But that don't mean I sympathize with Trump. I don't sympathize with a motherfucker who, when they went to his shit to get what was theirs, the government went to take back what was theirs because it had national security implications. And he said, no, I'm not giving you nothing. And then he proceeded to conspire with other people to hide what he took, what he illegally took. I don't know nothing about that. I don't sympathize with that.
Again, you cannot fucking say that this billionaire orange motherfucker is the same as us.
No, because
He's a fucking bruh.
I never
You
paid off
cannot be black motherfucker
star.
and actually say that dumbass shit when we don't have the means to have good lawyers. First of all, half us get locked up because of that. You got court-appointed lawyers that gets us locked the fuck up. Half the time we just floating through the system until we get to the court and then we lock the fuck up. We don't know what's going on. This motherfucker, orange motherfucker, is manipulating everywhere he go, delaying it, coming out talking. How many black motherfuckers you think get to come out and talk in front of the fucking camera before they go into fucking proceedings? None.
Look, Steve,
it's not none of them. There's no way in the fuck you could defend that, bruh. There's no way in the fuck you could say that orange motherfucker is the same as us, because it's not even on the same planet. And I'm disturbed that your motherfucker supposed to be articulate and educated black motherfucker that's on the motherfucking scene spewing the bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck wrong with you, bruh? We get motherfuckers just doing that shit that ain't got no fucking sense, but you know what the fuck you doing. And the fact you use a millionaire is the fucking problem. You forgetting where the fuck you come from.
Look,
coonery ass motherfucker.
Look, the average black man out here, whether he been in trouble or not, whether he been in jail or not,
fuck that.
Don't sympathize. Ain't never had to pay. Ain't never end up paying a porn star hundreds of thousands of dollars to cover up the fact that he cheated on.
You can't afford it. Fuck you mean?
I mean,
niggas in the hood got put up everything. That grandma house, everything. Fuck wrong with you? Or you could just go and get the court-appointed lawyer and go to jail.
Look, what Trump is going through, Trump brought on himself. And you can go on TV and say that it is the Democrats that's doing it. it's this person that's doing it. It's the prosecution. It's bogus. Look, if it wasn't enough motherfucking evidence to take him to court, he wouldn't be in court. Okay, we seen the shit. We already seen the shit in his house. The woman say he paid me off because we had an affair, and he basically wanted to cover it up because he was running for election. He didn't want that shit out there while he was running for election. Okay, Bill Clinton went through the same shit. Same thing. He had affairs. It came out during the election campaign. And what? He still was a two-term president. So that's bullshit. Your argument there don't hold water.
Nothing he said make any sense. No,
but you go on and you want to co-sign this shit and say somebody's persecuting this dude. Then you want to compare it to the way black people been persecuted and say that we sympathize with him. That's bullshit, because black people has in no way, no how, no shape, form, or fashion been persecuted in the way, or matter of fact, we would love to be persecuted in the way that Donald Trump is being persecuted, for real. Trump has not been persecuted the way black people has been persecuted throughout the history of this country. But what you're saying is bullshit. And if for whatever your agenda is, for you to come on Hannity, which you know is nothing but a Republican propaganda channel and show on Fox, they don't do nothing but spit propaganda. None of it's the truth. You know just as well as I know, you can't trust nothing that comes off of Fox News as being the truth. They got a fucking $800 million lawsuit to prove it. So you goes on there, and then when black people, rightly so, call you out, you want to try to walk it back and say your words was taken out of context. Bullshit. Black people ain't stupid. Nobody's stupid. Everybody heard what you said. Everybody heard what you said. Everybody understood what you said. Everybody understood the context in what you say. You sit there and co-sign some racist bullshit that the Republicans and MAGA and Sean Hannity and Jesse Waters and all these fucking people on Fox News and Newsmax and all these other right-wing news channels, if you want to call it news, been putting out about black people. And your black ass went on there and fucking co-signed and kissed this motherfucker's ass in the same way DJ Academics did with Don Jr. last week. And all I want to know, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
On something that I made news about just a few days ago. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. Accountability is where everything needs to begin in this world. It's something I say quite often. I certainly never hesitate to hold folks accountable when mistakes or mishaps occur. So I'm certainly not about to run from it myself. I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media as well, after comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now, from friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted as associating support for Trump from the Black community with all the legal issues he's facing. For that, I sincerely apologize. To be clear, my words were misconstrued. I'm stating right here for the record that my words were taken out of context, misrepresenting and depicting in a way I found every bit as insulting and disrespectful as folks in Black America evidently felt about what they thought I said. But I'll own it anyway. Because please know that I know the buck stops with me. I'm in the communication business, have been here for 30 years. So regardless of whatever interpretation that accompanies any words coming out of my mouth, the responsibility ultimately lies with me first and foremost before anybody else. I've always felt that way. I still do. I always will. Period. Blacks who refuse to support Trump are aware of his history of issues. And we'll never forget how Trump claimed Obama, the nation's first black president, wasn't even qualified to hold office because he was born in Kenya, although Trump recanted the statement during his 2016 campaign run for the presidency.
No, he didn't.
Yet Trump's dissenters were not the topic of discussion when I was talking to Hannity. The support he appears to be receiving in the polls was what was being discussed. 5 polls. Count.
Okay. First of all, you just did this interview. So if you knew what you know, if you claim you knew what you was talking about, you would know that he's not leading. Trump is not leading in 5 polls, maybe that Fox leans on, but in polls that count, Biden is leading Trump. Biden been rising in the poll for the last month, basically since the State of the Union.
He's a fucking misleader, bro.
Now
it's just plain and fucking simple.
Now, if that's if you care about facts, okay, don't spit old shit. Now, I'm trying to figure out now how y'all brothers is getting out here. Y'all going on all these right-wing news outlets and you saying all this wild shit like that shit is cool and like you ain't gonna get caught. See, I think a lot of this shit is this. Y'all know that black people don't get down with Fox News. Well, the majority of black people don't get down with Fox News. But see, Stephen A. and DJ Academics and Charlemagne and all you other ones out there, y'all got to understand there's always somebody peeping in. And when a big name like Stephen A., which you have a big name, you are a very famous person, you have a big name, and you have a big following in the black community. People are going to tune in and hear what you say, what you're talking about. They might think you went on there to talk about sports, and then you went on there, and then you purposely misled the people and co-signed some garbage. Now you want to walk it back and say it was taken out of context. But what you didn't do when you said it was taken out of context, I didn't hear you really put it in the context that you claim it was taken out of. What was the context? You sit there and say the buck stops here. No, not the buck. The buck shuffling should stop. That's what needs to stop here. Is the buck shuffling. Look, if you want to go on Hannity and all of these other jokers show, I don't give a shit because you do what you do. If you like The Rock and some of us who now you in a different stratosphere as far as income is concerned, if you decide or you make a decision based on your wallet, I had no problem with that because everybody has their own reasons for however they vote. Don't have a problem with that. But the only thing I say is if you're going to do it, and especially when you're not regularly in the political sphere, and you know you have a following that listens to you, because everybody don't have your income, everybody don't have your bank account. You dig? And so you can't mislead the people and have them following you when it's not good for them, because that's what you think it's good for you, but it might not be good for the people. So you got to be honest, and you got to give the people facts. If you say that's the way you voting because of whatever reason, be upfront about it. Say fuck it. I respect you. Look, I'm making motherfucking. I'm making $100 million a year. I don't want to pay them high ass taxes. Joe Biden said he's going to tax the rich. I ain't with that. Just say it. But you and Rock and all these other people come out here, and academics and all these other people come out here and mislead the people to try to get them to come over to where you thinking. Y'all not being honest with the people. See, these people, the people out here will listen to you and listen to people who they think or say or claim they had their best interests at heart, but in the end, they only concerned about their wallet. They'll listen to y'all. And some of them will even vote the way you say vote because you got that kind of influence. Then in the end, yes, you'll get your tax breaks. You hold on to a few more of your dollars. But what the people that don't got what you got ain't getting what you getting, what's going to happen to them? When y'all lead them down a path to vote against their interests, and they vote for a motherfucker that's going to go up in there and strip them of their health care. When you got a mofo that's going to go up in there and cut out all kind of social programs. When you got somebody that's going to go in there and lower the taxes on you rich motherfuckers, but put the burden on the poor, the middle class, and the poor. What do you got to say then? Just like you said at the beginning of the interview when you told what you told Sean Hannity, when you said, I'll let you know when I'll give a damn. That said all I need to hear. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about people. You don't give a fuck about the people that's following you. The people who can't afford the courtside, the 50-yard line seats that you can. Well, you getting free for a lot of shit, so it don't matter to you. Come on, bro. Y'all got to think about this shit. Yeah, you got yours. If you pay a little more in taxes, hey, maybe that's the cost of being rich. You want to benefit. See, you want to benefit from the programs that Joe Biden's, the Barack Obamas, the Bill Clintons, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffries, the programs that they're pushing to help the people and to help to raise the people up and to help get this country back on the standing that it should be and keep it there, and to get our roads, our bridges, our broadband and Wi-Fi to people who don't have it, who really need it, because you can't do shit without it nowadays, to fix up rural areas, to do all of this. Y'all want to benefit from that. But when it comes to, I don't want to pay a few more dollars in taxes but I want this shit, but I don't want to do my motherfucking duty to help it come to fruition. But I got news for you. You can't take all that money to the grave with you. You got more, you make it more than you ever going to spend in your lifetime. But you want more, and that's your prerogative. I don't fault you for that. But what I fault you for is you misleading the people for your benefits. It's not for their benefits, because you're going to have a lot of people vote against their interests and vote for a racist, vote for a misogynist, vote for a sexist, vote for what's that damn word from last week? A motherfucking xenophobe. He's a megalomaniac. He's a lot of things that ain't good. And you want to sit here and justify what he did. That's bullshit, Stephen A. And you should be ashamed of yourself, bro. You and a whole bunch of others.
In the video, he's saying that he got a lot of backlash and all this shit, right?
Which he should.
And the fact that he the fact that he acknowledged that, meaning he got a lot of heat for it. So for him to jump out there and do what he did on Fox, on Sean Hannity, right, where everybody know that's a right-leaning outlet, and then off the break, they want motherfuckers black to agree any way, shape, or form with Trump. They're gonna slide him on ASAP. So just like he had that little podcast, and when he said what he said, they had him on the day after. ASAP, so he can motherfucking rehash what the fuck he said. When he took the line of Republicans, everybody got to understand he is a millionaire approaching billionaire. He don't give a fuck. All this shit that y'all talk, far as he concerned, he don't give a fuck about the black culture, bruh. Far as he concerns, when Trump get in there, tax cuts. And that's literally all Republicans do. They literally don't do anything for anybody well-being. They don't do anything for anybody's life. They don't give a fuck until you try to be gay or till you try to have a fucking abortion.
Yeah.
Other than that, they don't give a fuck. Period.
Yeah.
Abortions and gay marriage, the only thing that fucking riles them up. Period. Other than that, they're gonna do straight tax cuts. Period. And
with Fox News, you're not going on there. You're not going to get on Fox News unless you're a part of the agenda they're trying to push. They, like you said, they need somebody to push the garbage they trying to sell. And you're not going, they're not bringing you on there if you're not going to help them push the propaganda that they trying to push. See, this wasn't the first time Stephen A. said some shit like that. And they know it. That's why they brought him on. Because if his opinion wasn't that strong in any other way, Hannity not bringing him on. But he pushes something they won't push, so bring his ass on.
My thing is when motherfucking Stephen A. get on the joint and he go on his own platform. Now, he already went on the platform of Republicans and said what he had to say. Even though he didn't believe nothing he said. Even though he started naming all these Democrats in his argument. It was irrelevant, bro. The problem is you want to motherfucker insinuate that all of us are going to vote for him because A, he going through the court system. B, I'm not even gonna say that. B, he having a mug shots. So therefore you thinking we supposed to like him. You as a black man perpetrated the white racist
perpetrated a stereotype.
He perpetrated the shit that white people does on Fox Network.
He co-signed and perpetrated a stereotype.
The thing they do on Fox News is what he contributed to. You see what I'm saying? What he did was get on there and be a black spokesman for the shit that they say. And that's the fucking problem we have with people like that. When they know for a fact they are being used. He know that.
Look, I said this, was it last week or the week before? And if you look and you read between the lines, or you just look closely at it, and it's like I told you, the white people who's at the top of all this, who's the big decision makers, the big money, the big wigs that's pushing all of this, they do not push anything that's good for the black community. They only push bullshit that keeps the black community down. That's why, and I'm talking about the movies, the music, the shit that you see, how black people are portrayed. And then they go out and they get a Stephen A, academics, a Charlemagne, a Tim Scott, and so on and so on and so forth, to help them, to use them to push the garbage that they're trying to sell us. And look, if it's good for you or it's going to benefit the black community, you best believe they're not going to push it. They're going to push every negative stereotype, every negative image, and they're going to find some jackass to come on a Fox News, Newsmax, and co-sign that shit. Stephen A, that is why black people jumped in your shit this week, because contrary to what you, Sean Hannity, and the like believe, black people are not stupid, they are not ignorant, and they are not followers of dumb shit and dumb people. That is why. And you only fucking backtrack and try to walk it back because you are concerned that you're going to lose your audience, that what you said is going to have a negative effect on your on your job at ESPN and your podcast. Now, and we'll get into Jamel Hill at some point too, because she said some things that wasn't close to what Stephen A said, and they ran her off of ESPN because she got into politics, and it wasn't her, only her, it was others that got ran out of ESPN because they didn't want their personalities getting into politics and political shit like that, and this and Black Lives Matter and all that kind of stuff. They don't want that. But see, you walk that back because you don't want that damage, especially when, as I believe, that you know that Pat McAfee, who I believe is creeping up ever so closely every day to take your spot. That's why I think you walked it back. That's my opinion.
I don't know, man. My thing is, once he started this motherfucking podcast, he made a mistake of going in politics because he has an agenda in his politics. His agenda is to stay rich. Now, like, yeah, he signed a contract. He got $24 million a year. So he's not trying to have Biden cut his taxes. It's just the bottom line of that. So his thing is to push whoever going to cut his taxes once they can fucking be president. Like last time, first thing Trump did was cut taxes. He ain't do nothing else after that. So therefore, motherfuckers like motherfucking Stephen A, they're going to kowtow to that shit and use their talking points. No matter what they are, people gotta understand. If you shave all black people around the country, just shave all percentages here and there, it can make life hell for motherfucking Biden. It's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? He know that.
Yeah.
So when he come on there and be screaming some bullshit about, oh, y'all just doing y'all putting a trial on Trump and all that, who the fuck doing that? First of all, you can't tell me Biden, he can't pay attention, but he controlling this shit and controlling shit over motherfucking seas. You can't tell me he doing all that, but he see now, he's slow. Like, come on, bro, you doing too much. First of all, this president has been active, bro. First of all, That's the first
more
problem.
than any president.
So you can't have motherfucking Stephen A come on motherfucking his podcast and act like that never happened. Nothing he done is happened. And all we're gonna do is talk about this motherfucker that did what he did to be in the position he in. That sounds foolery to me, bro. That sound like a coon ass fool that wanna jump on the racist talking points and help them in the crusade to shave all black people from the Democratic Party. They don't give a fuck about black people issues. They don't put bills up for that.
No.
Their goal is to just shave them all from the motherfucking Democrats, meaning make you think motherfucking Biden is a racist.
No.
Make you think motherfucking Trump is not. The thing is, make Biden worse as you can make him for black people, right? We don't give a fuck about black people. We're not gonna give them nothing. We're not gonna give them no motherfucking bills or nothing like that. Nah. But if we could just make them delusional for a second, where they don't know vote for Trump or not, cool. That's what they want. They don't give a fuck about your issues, bro. As a black culture,
they don't.
None of them. They ain't gonna put up one bill to help anything. And that motherfucking is the reason why at the beginning of this motherfucking joint, when we first started doing this podcast 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
My thing is, the Democratic platform is just it speaks to my issues, right? No matter who is running for president, the Democratic Party, their platform is more seductive to me, my family, and our issues as a black culture. Period. And that's how I've been doing things lately. I never liked Biden. He ran 100 times. I never liked him ever. When he ran against motherfucker Hillary, I didn't like him. I wanted Hillary. And when he ran against Obama, I didn't like him. I wanted Biden. He ran before that too, against some other motherfuckers.
Yeah, he ran.
And I wanted motherfuckers shouting over him then. So he's not my ideal Democrat. That's the difference between me and motherfucking No More Soul Brother. But after doing this motherfucking podcast for the last 2 years, right? And us going over deep detailed dives of what everybody fucking doing in politics. And I done seen and noticed he been doing a lot for the black culture, bro. And it's been documented. All the things he been doing from the HBCUs, from motherfucking cutting insulin to $35. That's huge as fuck. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker student loans, you know what I'm saying? Housing, the motherfucker grants for small business and black cultures. It's like the first black motherfucking vice president, the first motherfucking black supreme women on court. So me in this journey in politics, right? Just knowing that my values lies with Democrats, but I don't fuck with Biden like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I fucks with Biden. Me personally, I want Biden to win. I'm a Biden fan at this point because he pushed black issues from the George Floyd bill, from whatever you can name in the black culture. He has been on top of it. As we've been going through this podcast, that's just something it wasn't in my foresight to like fucking Biden. You know what I'm saying? As a person, you know, but I need a Democrat to be president. But now I'm at the situation where I personally like Biden from everything he's been doing from back in the 70s. We're going to get in that in a minute, from women's getting their ass whooped to now, all these things he's doing, even being the first person to serve with the first black president. It's like so much shit in black history he involved in is fucking crazy, right? All the way up to the 94 crime bill. Like everything he involved with is, me personally, I didn't dislike him or none of that. I just knew he was carrying the torch for Democrat platform. But now I'm at the point where I fucks with him personally, like Tony did. Number One Soul Brother from the beginning. Now you gotta realize Number One Soul Brother been following politics. He know motherfucker Biden, right? So I didn't like him personally, right? So now I'm on that train where I feel like I need him to be president, period. You know what I'm saying? Dog? I fucks with him, not just the Democratic platform. You know what I'm saying?
With Biden is this. Biden was a hell of a senator. A hell of a senator. He did some good work, great work in the Senate. But his career after the Senate, he owes to black people. His career as vice president into becoming president, he owes a debt to black.
That's for sure.
Because if it wasn't for him being on the ticket with Barack Obama and being Barack Obama's vice president, a lot of the shit that they still try to push on him, a lot of that shit could have stuck, and he wouldn't be where he is today. So as far as, and that's how he was really introduced to the black community, and they got to know him, because you really don't get to know, unless you are hardcore into politics, you really don't know your senators and your representatives like that.
Exactly. So that's why at the beginning it just wasn't him for me. I just needed him to win. You know what I'm saying? But now I want him to win. You know what I'm saying?
As far as Stephen A is concerned, look, and I want all you misleaders to hear this. Y'all jump out there and say y'all for justice reform and reforming the criminal justice system. I don't hear Trump talking about that, even though he's allegedly being persecuted by the same system in the same way as black people. If he's being persecuted by the same system in the same way that black people have been persecuted by this system, then you would think justice reform would be on the top of at the top of his list of things to get accomplished if he get back into the White House. If he's being persecuted by the law enforcement, and the system, like y'all claim he is, and some of y'all want to co-sign on this garbage, then he wouldn't have a problem supporting the George Floyd bill. Is that coming out of his mouth? No. It would come out of any Republican's mouth. No. If he sympathizes, he can now sympathize with black people, and allegedly black people can sympathize with him. What is he doing on guns in the streets? Nothing. What is he doing on social programs besides trying to get rid of them? So that shit you talking and that shit that's coming out your mouth, it don't make no sense. And you can't make it make sense because it's bullshit. If he is going through the same things that we as black men especially have went through, as far as the courts, the police, the criminal justice system as a whole, why isn't he coming out? And if you want to appeal to the black men that you say you are being persecuted, like, you don't talk to us about the things that concern us. No Republican does. Like I was telling my man here when he was saying Tim Scott could be the Republican nominee, and that black people would vote for Tim Scott. I told him no, because you have to come and talk to us. See, Joe Biden, he can talk to us. He knows how we feel. The man been poor. The man grew up when his father ain't had no job, mother ain't had no job. Bill Clinton the same way. Barack Obama the same way. Barack Obama we know how Barack Obama's mother was on welfare and food stamps. And he could come and talk to us. And he would come and talk to us as a black community. Don't sit out here and because you bought a lot of bullshit on yourself, which what you did, Trump bought all this shit on himself, and now all of a sudden, because you think that black men want to leave the Democratic Party and come to you because you got a mug shot, you done been on a perp walk, you in court, you can't go see your son graduate because you sitting up in there. Now see, I can't sympathize with you because when I was going to court, if I'd have fell asleep in court, I'd have woke up under the jail. I couldn't go to court and sit there and play on my phone. They would have took my phone and locked my ass up. So I know I don't sympathize with you. You brought that shit on yourself, bro. And Stephen A., you need to fucking realize it. For whatever reason, you out here buck shuffling to motherfucking Sean Hannity and whoever else that shit was aimed at. You wrong, and you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You damn right. Black people was right for tearing you a new asshole this whole week. And I hope they continue to do it because I think that apology was some bullshit. I think you was trying to hold on to your black audience. You was trying to hold on to your job. You was trying, and somebody told you to get out in front of this shit and say something because you have said some of the wildest shit ever and you and had backlash and you never apologize. You never apologize. You done said some wild ass shit and when you got called on it, you double down on it. So I know somebody on high told you to walk that shit back because you went on and you said what you mean. You know why I know you said what you mean? Because you snuck on Hannity. Nobody knew you was going on Hannity. It wasn't no promotion. Nothing before the show was set up to tune in. Sean Hannity has a interview with Stephen A. Smith. No, you stuck on there. You snuck on there because you figured that you can get on there, you can do what you did, nobody would notice, or few people would notice, and it wouldn't get out like it was because it was Fox News. But you know what? Somebody was looking. We always looking. We always looking for spooks in the house. And guess what? We found your ass.
This is one of our willow boxes. This is just filled with some of the things that we had started gathering for her while I was pregnant.
Yep.
Here's her little baby book. This is the outfit that she was gonna maybe wear home from the hospital. All of these. This is the blanket that she was in. And these are her little footprints.
It's okay. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
That right there is where everything comes down to right there. It's like from abortions to motherfucking rights as a minority, gay, lesbian, the rights to motherfucking breathe clean fucking air. All that shit is at the motherfucking ballot. Like, this is Donald Trump. The Orange Demon is the last stand for us going back as a country. Laws, bills, going back in the 17th century. He want America great again, and that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in 17th century, so motherfucking way. And the only reason, my thing is, you as a black motherfucker, anywhere, if you motherfucking Stephen A. or whoever the fuck, you gotta recognize this, bro. You gotta recognize that this is a loose cannon redneck.
Yeah.
That's gonna say anything to you. To make you believe whatever the fuck to go along with the fuck he want to do. And once you motherfucking, as Stephen A. jump on that shit and start helping them, you can't then say, all right, yeah, but I voted Democrat all my life. Nobody gonna hear that shit, bro. It's what you're doing now. We're the only thing that matters. You're coddling to a racist. And that makes us motherfucking heated on this podcast. When you coddle and support racists and bigots.
Yep.
That makes you a piece of shit, bro.
Bigot lover.
Any way you do it, it is you motherfucking campaign for them. You get on TV and say bullshit to help them. Whatever you do, or you bring them on and make an interview that's trashed with it. Anything you do to contribute to this fucking bullshit, the minstrel shows, you a piece of shit for that. Now, if you motherfucking Stephen Smith, man, come on, bro. You already know. You smart enough to know to let that shit go. Don't even go in handy. Don't even discuss none of that. But you did that purposely because you kowtown to an audience that has nothing to do with us. That audience you talking to, you know, has nothing to do with us. That business audience, that motherfucking white, that 500 and above motherfucking tax bracket shit you live in. That's the people you want to do and make sure the president is cutting taxes for their ass. That's all you want to do. And that makes me so mad about that is you put that above George Floyd situation. You put that above all kids getting shot in the fucking school. You put that above that. You can't get on your fucking podcast and start crying about that shit after that, bro. It's too fucking late.
No, you can't.
You can't do that. If you fucking pushing shit towards the motherfucker that's causing these issues, because you can't deny if you got a Democrat in there, that Sandy Hook shit and all that bullshit going on is not happening. If you have a Republican in there, it gets looser and looser, and shit like that happens every fucking day. And every time it happens, you get the whining and crying, talking about you want to do this on your Facebook and all this bullshit. And this is the problem. Gun violence is most top. Matter of fact, it's the leading cause of death in the black community. Literally.
Yeah.
And y'all motherfuckers don't want to do shit but push motherfuckers towards racists, towards the motherfuckers that causing the casualties, bro. That shit is irritating, huh?
Very.
And then when you got that money, you be on fucking ESPN for 8 hours, then you jump your dumb ass on YouTube. I don't know what the fuck, you ain't got no fucking life. But now you're on YouTube after that, spewing bullshit that you know is fucking foul, bruh. Period. We don't need anybody that acts like Donald Trump, lives like Donald Trump, breathe the air like Donald Trump loved to breathe as president, bruh. Don't need it. You know it. Everybody know it. We're not even talking about racism. He's a disaster, period. He want Russia to run all over the fucking countries all over the place over there and let them do it. He got people in Congress trying to hold up bills to help motherfuckers to save their life. Because you know, if Ukraine don't have no weapons, the party is fucking over. The country belongs to Putin. And then he moves along in Poland, in Germany. He keep on continue if this fool is fucking president.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, if you think the air is a problem, get the fuck out of here with him.
What? No, because he already rolled back a rack.
If you think the justice system is a problem, get the fuck out of here.
No.
If you think guns in the black community is a problem, what the hell are you talking to him about that for? So Again, Stephen fucking A. You made us use our podcast to fry your ass.
But you brought up something. You brought up something at the beginning, what you said a minute ago, and you brought up issues. Basically, you brought up issues, and something Stephen A. said at the beginning of his little wild ass soliloquy, if you will. He say, you need to talk about it was a disgrace and all of this what Democrats was doing because Democrats are afraid that they can't beat Trump on the issues. And you brought up a good point because what are the issues that Trump is championing? The only thing he keeps saying is make America great again. And as you also said, what does that mean? Again, that means you want to take us back to a certain time when you thought America was great. And you are showing it and showing us what you want to do by the policies that you push, by the things that you do and the things that you say. We already know that you want to set women back to a point where women have no rights. Women are barefoot, naked, and in the kitchen.
Yeah. So
That's
clear where you want black people at. We want to take away affirmative action. You want to take away you want to take away all that. You know where you want the black people
You
at.
want black people.
We clear where you want the women at.
Yeah.
So anybody in the fuck, that's why I say, bruh, if he don't lose 90-10, that's only the MAGAs that's voting for him. If he don't lose 90-10, around the world, we look fucking dumb, bruh. First of all, you put up a candidate that's going through court for criminal shit. The nigga had a civil case for rape. Like, basically, you don't run these people you don't do that. Now, if this motherfucker around the world, if he become president, we look fucking stupid, bro. I don't give a fuck where you coming from. He flips the world upside down. He flips our country upside down. We go backwards. You cannot deny that, black MAGAs. You can't do it. You can't do it.
And this is what I find crazy about the
he made us so mad crazy. We had to burn him up for the whole joint.
Hell yeah. That damn. Oh, that about Trump in the civil case. Trump and his supporters will continually try to spin and make that case, that civil case, sound like it was like he was just basically doing what he normally do, grabbing by the pussy. And every time they try to spin it and try to soften it, try to make it not what it was, the judge comes out and says, no, that was rape. Said what he did was rape.
That's my point.
And that ain't me saying it. That's the judge saying it.
That's my point. Is like at this point, it's not even him being racist is the problem.
A racist?
He literally is a person that's been civilly liable for rape. Mm-hmm. That's the technical term. I can get away with that. Civilly liable for rape. He had to pay a bitch for rape. Yes, he had to pay for that.
Yes, he did.
You're gonna run him for president, and you and all these black motherfuckers that even support him, if they are, or even we're gonna move on to the regular Republicans, but they even worse. If you support him as a black man, bro, at this point you ain't got no sense, and at this point you sounds dumb as fuck.
Well, you got a lot
for
of
real
people out there don't got no sense.
None of this shit help us as black coaches, bro. It just don't. It just don't. It don't, bro. You can't tell us going back to 17 anything help us, bro. So don't even do that.
But
then you can't tell us take away affirmative action. You can't tell us that's good for us. What do you mean? Like, come on, bro.
For the 2 years that we've been doing. The 2 years that we've been doing this podcast.
Appreciate everybody got us to 100 motherfucking subscribers. We appreciate y'all a whole lot. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for show.
And spread the word. But for the 2 years we've been doing this podcast, the one thing one of the things that I consistently say is people vote according to their interests in their lives. And it's not a person who goes in that voting booth who don't vote, whose wallet whose wallet doesn't play a big part in the decision they make of who to vote for, because you have from the poor up to the middle class who are trying to make money, to get money, to be able to buy things, buy houses, cars, nice clothes. You got the people who's coming up, and then you got the people who's at the top who want to keep their money. So that plays a lot in it. And then you got a lot of people that's moving into a high tax bracket, Stephen A., Rock, so on and so on. And it's happening all the time. It's going to happen. It's going to happen 2 nights from now when the NFL draft take place, and you're going to have a bunch of instant millionaires. So it happens all the time. But like you said earlier, when you get to a certain place financially, amnesia sets in, and you forget that you was once poor. You forget that you was once one of the have-nots. You forget that maybe one time your family was being fed by food stamps. Your mama was on welfare. You was living in a Section 8 house. When these people get to some people get to a certain, like I said, a certain financial place, amnesia sets in and they forgets all this shit. And then all they concerned about, I want to hold on to every penny that I got or every penny that I can. And I don't fault you for that, because if I was in your situation, I probably would think the same way. But I know I would be different about it. I think about those who are still stuck, and I would want to do something to help bring them people up. So if that's the way you feel and you want to protect your dollars, I had no problem with that. I don't think anybody will have a problem with it, but I have a problem with it when you hide behind the fact that you're trying to do something, or you're trying to uplift the community, your people, the Black community, and you have an agenda and you are misleading people. You are using people to get what you want. And once you get to the point that you can get what you want, it'll be basically fuck the people. You know what I'm saying? Because we just done ran off a whole list of things that if Donald Trump gets in office again, you can hang up. He's trying to take away health care. We know this. We already know that with the help of people like Clarence Thomas, they already struck down affirmative action in some cases, and behind the scenes, they are going after civil rights. We know that they're already taking federally, that is, a woman's right to choose. So if you care about these things and you care about your people, Black people, because especially Black women, because that overturning Roe v. Wade affects Black women more than anybody, or than any other group of women. So if you care about your people as you say you do, as you claim you do, don't mislead them. Give them the facts. Give them the facts to make an informed decision. And if they make the decision, same decision that you made, so be it. Then we have to live with it. But we don't have to live with a decision that was made under false pretenses and lies. That's not going to happen. And as long as shit like what Stephen A. said, what Charlemagne, the shit he do, what academics did with the interview he did with Don Jr., with a lot of these buck shuffling coons is doing, we're going to call it out. And we done spent an hour and 14 minutes and 48 seconds calling your ass out, Stephen A. That's how deep this shit was. That's how deep what you said was. That's how deep the cesspool of what's going on with Fox News, MAGA, and black misleaders like you and others. That's how deep that cesspool is. And that's just what it is. It's a cesspool. Brother.
First episode was a slap to the face and he broke my eardrum.
Damn, I was going to say we should do that on the next show.
Punching, kicking, choking, threatening with a knife or a gun.
He had always threatened me if I had ever called the police on him that he would kill me.
You didn't hear voices like these in the halls of the U.S. Capitol.
My husband stabbed me 13 times and broke my neck while the police were on the scene. I nearly died and I am permanently paralyzed.
Senator Joe Biden invited them to speak.
Battered women need to be taken seriously. Proper police response can prevent what happened to me from happening to someone else. Thank you.
Thank you.
At the time, the police considered domestic violence something that was not a crime. In the home, it's a private matter. And so women were responsible for their own injuries.
I was about to say I know. Well, I don't know. I can only guess how painful that is.
Growing up, our father said that the greatest of all sins was the abuse of power. He told us when a bully, when someone bigger or stronger takes advantage of you, that is a really grave sin. The expectation was for all four of us to be a person of character. If you see something wrong, we were then expected to stand up and do something about it.
When Joe introduced the legislation, few believed it could pass.
Our bill is an ambitious undertaking. It is the first attempt to address violent crimes against women.
It was hard to get the votes because you had some traditionalists who just didn't believe that there should be laws about this.
But Joe doesn't give up. He's tenacious. Joe persevered, and he's very good at persuasion.
They're doing nothing to help him. Nothing.
He brought together law enforcement, prosecutors, advocates, and survivors.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and speak.
In 1994, the Violence Against Women Act became law and protected millions of American women.
A lot of the change in the attitudes we have about domestic violence were shaped by his leadership on this.
If you see something wrong, we were then expected to stand up and do something about it.
Now, I don't know if everybody knows it was a Violence Against Women Act. And as you can see right there, Biden was the one that led and sponsored the whole thing, which is really important because y'all gotta understand how women in general, for Black women, has been, since America has been started, women has been in the back burner, and Black women is not even been on the fucking stove. You know what I'm saying? So
at all,
at this point, some of these things are really important for Black people, our culture. When you have somebody, a Violence Against Women's Act, where motherfucker can't threaten you, putting a gun in your fucking mouth as a woman and say, man, bitch, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, go cook. You know what I'm saying? It's like, It's really degrading to a bitch, and you can't live like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of this shit was so. You gotta realize at the times too. It's like women are really being abused at these times in the 90s too, bro. And the fact that it just goes to my whole bigger point about Biden, bro. It's like when the fact that like 2 years ago when we started this podcast, I didn't feel him like that. It's like as we doing this podcast, going over his history and shit like this, I realized he was always doing things like this. Like, and this is important, you know what I'm saying? Even the Violence Against Women, the Disabilities Act, you know what I'm saying? This is all this shit he did to Protect Our Children Act. He do a lot of shit, bro. So the motherfuckers be like, "He been 40 years, he ain't done nothing." That means you ain't look nothing up, you ain't pay attention to nothing, and you ain't want to find out the facts. Because one thing about it, I done learned is it's a lot of things he was on the forefront from, and violence against women is one of his forefront bills, put it like that. One of his main bills that he put out in the motherfucking joint. Lord have mercy.
Well, let's talk about the Violence Against Women Act. And as we saw there, the law was written by Joe Biden, Reed Slaughter, and it was backed up by Republican Orrin Hatch. He did something good. But for as much as they push a narrative about the 94 crime bill, which it had a lot of some shit in there that was bad or end up being bad, it had a lot of good in there, and this was part of the 94 crime bill. But they won't tell you that. But what you were saying about how women was treated, and as I was looking up this bill, one of the things it just shocked me, and I'll read that off. It said, before the Violence Against Women Act, police officers were told, you hear me? Police officers were told to avoid getting involved in domestic violence cases. Their reasoning, they said it could get dangerous to the officer. Police would tell women, they would see women battered, bruised, bleeding all out the mouth, eyes black, just beat the fuck up, and would tell women, I have to come back and see him punch you to arrest him. Judges, women have testified in hearings and so forth, have testified that judges didn't take them seriously and would say things like, you wore a short skirt, you can't be raped. Or you've been raped before, you can't be raped again. Look, that's the shit women go through. And one of the things that the Violence Against Women Act did was women would get beaten, could get beat up by their husband, boyfriend, whatever, significant other, and they would go get a restraining order. But back then, before the 94 crime bill and the Violence Against Women's Act, restraining order was only enforceable in the state that it was issued. So men, husbands and boyfriends, would actually take their wives and girlfriends across state lines to beat them. Picture that. They would go to another state to beat up their wives and girlfriends because one state didn't recognize the restraining order from another state. Violence Against Women Act rectified that. Now, and let's get into some numbers here. Yo, we running short on time. We're gonna get into some numbers real quick. And this was broke down towards by ethnicity. Black women are 41% of domestic violence victims. Hispanic women are 30%. White women, 15%. And all women are 32% of the domestic violence victims. So if you put all of the motherfucking women together, or all the other women together in a pot, black women still outnumber them in domestic violence cases. Ain't that some shit? You got psychological abuse because we know brothers like to cuss a woman out. You bitch, you ain't no good. You ain't shit. 54% of black women have suffered psychological abuse. 17 of them rape. 17% of black women have suffered some kind of sexual abuse. 9.6% of black women have been raped. The rate of black women being killed by a man compared to white women, it is 3 times higher. 91% of black women killed by men knew who their killers was. And get this, 1 in 5 black women have been raped at some point in their lifetime. And for every black woman who reports rape, at least 15 do not. Do y'all think that shit is cool? That is not good.
And this was 1994. 1.6. When people be like, bills passed, what do they mean? All right. So it's money, $1.6 billion that was toward investigations. First of all, you need money for that. Investigate prosecutions and violent crimes against women. Opposed automatically. You know what I'm saying? So when you see motherfuckers like Bill Cosby, when he didn't get charged criminally, but the woman get to charge him civilly. When you see everybody that's going through this shit now, you got P. Diddy, you got all these motherfuckers. P. Diddy, that's where you get the motherfuckers from this motherfucker violence against women. It gives them an opportunity, even if they don't pursue it criminally, it gives them opportunity to state their case and get it financially, which is 2 different things. You know what I'm saying, dog? But you still get to plead your case of being discriminated against or beaten as a woman. You know what I'm saying, dog? And make that person pay for that or go to jail. So this Violence Against Women Act made that possible for women like that to do that, including against the former president of the United States. You know what I'm saying, dog? So this shit right here was real important for women in America. That's why I say you got to recognize the times and shit. Because when you look at it now, you don't see, when people see stuff like it's not as much crime as it was in the 90s. It's not as much women's being beaten in the 90s. It's not as much as those things. It was bills passed. People didn't like none of those. Those are the reasons that those things are gone now. You know what I'm saying? It's like our country get held back when you put in a person that don't want advances. When you put in, to me, that's why I always felt like it was the party for me until Obama, really.
And look,
Clinton, Obama was people that made me think above just the party. So now by doing research, I got a grown affinity for Biden. So it's just when you get down to the nuts and bolts of which party backs and supports women, which is our main goal in this, women, especially black women, you know what I'm saying, dog, who support those and what they do for those women in general, you cannot tell me anything Trump does is good for women other than trying to cuss them out and degrade them.
Look,
when you got Biden who passed bills, Liddy Ledbetter Act, violence against women, he constantly does things for women. And then black women in general, a lot of things he does, bro, you got to recognize him. And when you got another person on the other side that just really does nothing, but really talk
shit,
it's no equivalence to this shit, bro. That's why now I'm a fully a Biden fan, not just a motherfucker just go vote for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different person now.
If y'all think that we just pushing this shit or putting this shit, look, we're trying to tell y'all though which side of the aisle is really fighting for people, women, minorities, whoever. But this right here is going to tell you where the priorities of the Republican Party is at. Because I remember this situation when Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo, I remember when he criticized Mitch McConnell, Republican Kentucky, Ted Cruz, Republican Texas, and John Cornyn, another Republican from Texas, because they prevented a reauthorization vote on the Violence Against Women Act because the NRA, who I tell you is the biggest lobbyist, they're probably the biggest lobbyist in America and the biggest lobbyist and contribute more to the Republican Party than probably anybody, including Koch brothers. But because the NRA did not like a provision barring those convicted of domestic violence from buying firearms. Come on. And I just read the numbers that, look, most women that are killed by men are killed by men who know them. And like the numbers like 50, it's over 50% that they are either a husband or a boyfriend. So when you talk about who's fighting for not only women's lives in general, but women's health overall, because in the black community, the number one health problem with women is domestic violence. Who's fighting to stop this? It's not on the Republican side. The Republicans, look, the bill was passed in 94. It was part of the 94 crime bill. It was passed in 94. Not even a year later in 1995, Republicans tried to strip the funding for the Violence Against Women Act, which provided money for shelters, programs for help women get out of violent relationships. It's all kind of things in that bill. But they continue to try to either strip the bill, let it die. They let it die twice, at least once. I know during the government shutdown, they let it expire. I think twice. But who's fighting for your lives, your health, It damn sure ain't the GOP. It damn sure ain't Trump. And if a damn sure ain't MAGA. So in some cases, I think, the choice is not that hard.
I mean, at this point, yeah, because once you got somebody just talking from fucking court every day, it's like, bro, you disqualified, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It should be 90-10 because that's a waste of time. We appreciate everybody, man, be tuning in tonight, man. We appreciate y'all each and every Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? Dial, holler at your boys, sliding in. We might peek up another night, you know what I'm saying? But most definitely Tuesday nights for sure. You know what I'm saying, dog?
For sure, because I would have liked to get into this issue a little bit more. But politics is a strange thing because you never know when something's gonna kick off. And Stephen A. just you wild ass nigga, you just set shit off this week. Then act like you ain't, motherfucker. Then we got a little bit of breaking news here. About time. Senate passes $95 billion aid package for Ukraine and Israel after a months-long stalemate fucking with the GOP. So them people over there can get some help.
At this point in time, there's only one party even trying to be a government party. It's like,
yeah,
this at this point in time, this shit is ridiculous, bro.
Right. But
I don't even know. It's like, I would love to bring people in here and debate motherfucking policies and what's best to get rid of guns and what's these motherfuckers right here. They ain't even want no policy. They
don't have none. Then Stephen ain't gonna sit there and talk about y'all can't beat Trump on the issues. Trump has no issues. He has no standing
on nothing but
he has no standing on no
runs
issue.
on nothing but complaining, whining, and crying.
Right.
That's his fucking campaign.
He want to get in the office so he can end them cases against him. That's what he want.
That's it. Appreciate everybody, man.
And y'all falling for the okie doke. Y'all falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. The hood view, you know?